Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rayan Daily English.
I'm Emily, and as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Tom. How are you doing today, Tom?
Honestly, Emily, I've been better. I spent 20 minutes this morning trying to remember the word disappointed and ended up saying, my heart feels like a flat tire. So, living the dream.
Tom, I actually love that description, but I think your timing is perfect because today's episode is called You're Doing Better Than You Think, and I have a feeling you need to hear this.
I think a lot of us need to hear this, honestly. I was reading comments from our listeners, and so many people say things like, I've been studying for years and I still can't speak properly, or I understand everything, but I sound like a robot.
Exactly. And that's why we created this episode. So, who is this for today? If you're an intermediate learner, somewhere between B1 and B2, feeling stuck in what we call the messy middle of language learning, this episode is your warm hug. We're going to talk about why your brain is lying to you about your progress, how to actually measure improvement, and most importantly, how to be kinder to yourself on this journey.
And before we dive in, quick reminder that we have a full transcript available for this episode, plus a worksheet called the Progress Perception Tracker that Emily designed. You can find everything in the description below or on our website.
And remember, you can pause, rewind, and listen as many times as you need. There's no rush here. This is your space. Now, Tom, let's start with what happened this morning. Tell me more about the flat tire situation.
Okay, so I was trying to tell my colleague about a project that didn't go well, and I wanted to say I was disappointed. Simple word, right? But my brain just went blank. And then I started panicking, which made it worse, and I ended up doing this weird mime thing with my hands while saying, not happy, but deeper,
Tom, can I tell you something? The fact that you found a creative way to communicate your meaning in the moment, under pressure, that is fluency.
But Emily, come on. I've been learning English for years. I should know the word disappointed by now. Doesn't forgetting basic words mean I'm actually getting worse?
This is such a common feeling, and I want to introduce what I call the invisible progress principle. Here's the thing. When you're improving at a language, your standards improve faster than your skills. It's like climbing a mountain, but the mountain grows as you climb.
That sounds exhausting and also kind of unfair.
It can feel that way, but think about it like this. Imagine you're cleaning a window. When the window was really dirty, you didn't notice the small spots. But now that you've cleaned most of it, suddenly every tiny smudge is visible. That doesn't mean the window is dirtier. It means your ability to see clearly has improved.
Oh, so when I notice my mistakes more, it might actually mean I'm getting better at English, not worse?
Exactly. 2 years ago, you probably made the same mistake and didn't even realize it. Now you notice it, you feel frustrated by it, and that frustration, uncomfortable as it is actually evidence of growth.
Huh. So my suffering is a good sign. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I think I understand. The noticing is the progress.
That's it. And in the worksheet we mentioned, there's a section called What I Notice Now, where you can track the mistakes that bother you. Over time, you'll see that what used to bother you becomes automatic, and new things take their place. It's a beautiful cycle, even when it doesn't feel beautiful.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. But here's my other problem, Emily. I watch movies in English and the actors speak so fast and so smoothly. Then I open my mouth and I sound like I'm reading a recipe very, very carefully.
Can I ask you something? When you watch those actors, are you comparing your speaking to theirs?
I mean, yes? Isn't that the goal? To sound like a native speaker?
This is what I call the comparison trap, and I think we need to talk about this because so many learners fall into it. Here's the truth. Those actors have scripts, they have directors, they do 20 takes to get one perfect scene, they have teams of people helping them sound good, and most importantly, they're speaking their first language.
But what about when I talk to native speakers in real life? They don't have scripts and they still sound perfect.
Do they, though? Tom, I'm a native English speaker and I make mistakes constantly. I forget words, I say and I start sentences and change direction halfway through. I mispronounce things. The difference is, when native speakers do it, it sounds natural. When learners do it, they think it's failure.
I never thought about that. I guess I do filter out the mistakes native speakers make.
There's a metaphor I love for this. Think of language like cooking. A professional chef and a home cook might both burn something occasionally, but when the chef does it, we assume they were experimenting. When the home cook does it, they feel like a failure. The action is the same, only our interpretation changes.
So I'm judging myself by a standard that doesn't actually exist? Like I'm comparing my real cooking to someone else's Instagram photo of cooking?
Perfect way to put it. And here's something important. Your goal shouldn't be to sound like a native speaker. Your goal should be to communicate effectively and authentically as yourself. Some of the most successful communicators in English, business leaders, scientists, artists, they speak English with accents, with quirks, with their own style. And they're brilliant.
I think I need to sit with that for a moment. I've been chasing the wrong thing this whole time.
In the worksheet, there's an exercise called My Communication Wins, and I really want you to try it. Instead of tracking mistakes, you write down moments where you successfully communicated something, even if it wasn't perfect. It shifts the whole focus.
All right, I'm starting to feel a bit more hopeful, but let me throw another worry at you, Emily. Sometimes I feel fluent, like words just flow out of me, and then other days I can barely form a sentence. What's that about? Am I actually fluent or not?
Ah, you've discovered what I call the fluency illusion. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Fluency is not a fixed state. It's not a destination you arrive at and stay forever. Fluency fluctuates for everyone, including native speakers.
Really? So even you have days when English is harder?
Absolutely. When I'm tired, stressed, distracted, or even just hungry, my speech gets messier. I search for words more, I make grammar mistakes. This is completely normal for every human being in every language.
Totally. But it feels like something is wrong with me when it happens, like I've suddenly lost all my progress.
Think of fluency like the tide at the beach. Sometimes the water is high, sometimes it's low, but the ocean is always there. Your English knowledge doesn't disappear on difficult days. It's just temporarily less accessible because other things are using your mental energy.
So when I feel like I've forgotten English after a bad conversation, I haven't actually lost anything.
Not at all. And here's something powerful. What matters is your baseline over time, not individual moments. If you compare your average ability today to your average ability 1 year ago, that's where you'll see the real growth. One bad conversation means nothing.
I like that. The average, not the individual moments, like checking the weather pattern instead of complaining about one rainy day.
Warmly. Beautiful analogy, Tom. That's exactly it. And this connects to something we call the 3-month rule in our framework. Instead of judging your progress daily or weekly, look back every 3 months. Compare a conversation you had today with one you had 3 months ago. That's where the evidence lives.
Is that in the worksheet too?
It is. There's a 3-month reflection template where you can record yourself speaking about the same topic at different intervals. When you listen back, the improvement becomes undeniable.
Okay, I want to talk about something embarrassing. Last week I was at a shop and I asked for chicken legs, but I pronounced it so badly that the person thought I wanted children's socks. It was a whole situation.
Oh no, what happened?
Much confusion. Eventually, I just pointed at the chicken and made a leg gesture. Very dignified, very adult.
Tom, I love you. But can I reframe this for you? This experience, as awkward as it was, is actually something to celebrate.
Celebrate? Emily, I was defeated by poultry. How is that a celebration?
Here's why. You were out in the world using English in an unpredictable situation. You encountered a problem, you solved it. You didn't run away, you didn't give up, you found another way to communicate. That's real language use.
But I made a mistake.
And this is where I want to introduce the discomfort dividend. Every moment of embarrassment, confusion, or struggle is actually an investment. Your brain learns fastest when things go wrong because those moments get your full attention.
Wait, so my chicken disaster was good for me?
Think about which English lessons you remember most vividly. I bet they're the ones where you made memorable mistakes, not the ones where everything went smoothly. Embarrassment is like a highlighter for your brain. It marks that experience as important.
That's actually true. I will never ever forget how to pronounce chicken now. It's burned into my memory.
Exactly. So the question isn't how can I avoid mistakes? The question is how can I put myself in more situations where mistakes are possible? Because each one is a learning opportunity that your brain will never forget.
So I should actively seek out embarrassment? That sounds terrible, but also kind of exciting.
Warmly, not seek embarrassment specifically, but seek challenge. Seek situations that are a little beyond your comfort zone. That's where growth lives.
All right, Emily, I'm feeling better, but I have one more problem. Even when good things happen, I don't remember them. Like, I focus on the chicken disaster, but I forget that the same day I had a lovely conversation with a stranger on the bus.
This is so important, and it's the last concept I want to share today. What you're describing is completely normal because our brains have a negativity bias. We evolved to remember threats and problems, not successes. So we have to actively work against this tendency.
How?
I call it the evidence collection method. You become a detective for your own progress. Instead of waiting to feel fluent, you collect proof that you're improving.
What kind of proof?
Small things. Did you understand a joke in English? Write it down. Did someone understand you without asking you to repeat? Evidence. Did you read something without using a dictionary? Proof. Did you think in English without realizing it? Huge evidence.
I never thought to track those things. I only track what goes wrong.
And that's why your perception of your progress is so distorted. It's like you're a lawyer building a case against yourself, collecting only the evidence that supports "I'm not good enough," while ignoring everything that proves the opposite.
That's exactly what I do. I'm like a prosecutor, not a defense attorney.
From now on, I want you to be your own defense attorney. When your brain says, "You're not improving," you say, "Objection, here's my evidence." And you pull out your collection of wins, moments, and breakthroughs.
I really like this. It feels like something I can actually do.
In our resource materials, the Progress Perception Tracker has a daily evidence log, just 1 or 2 things each day. Over a month, you'll have 30 pieces of evidence that you're doing better than you think. So, Tom, let's bring it all together. We've covered a lot today. The invisible progress principle, which reminds us that noticing mistakes is actually a sign of growth. the comparison trap, which taught us to stop measuring ourselves against unrealistic standards. The fluency illusion, helping us understand that fluency fluctuates, and that's normal. The discomfort dividend, showing us that embarrassing moments are actually valuable learning experiences. And finally, the evidence collection method, which helps us actively counter our brain's negativity bias.
You know what I'm realizing? All of this is really about one thing: trusting the process. Trusting that even when it feels messy and frustrating and slow, something is happening. The window is getting cleaner even when I can only see the smudges.
That's it. That's exactly it.
And I think I have been doing better than I thought. I mean, we just had this entire conversation in English about complicated ideas, and I mostly kept up.
Tom, you didn't mostly keep up. You contributed brilliant analogies and insights. You processed complex metaphors. You made jokes in your second language. That's incredible.
When you put it that way, okay, I'm feeling something unusual. I think it might be pride?
Let's sit with that. Now, for everyone listening, we have a challenge for you this week. We're calling it the 3 Evidence Challenge.
Here's how it works. Every day for the next week, write down 3 pieces of evidence that you're improving. They can be tiny. I understood 1 word in a song. I thought of the English word before my native language word. I made a mistake and kept talking anyway.
At the end of the week, you'll have 21 pieces of evidence, 21 reasons to believe in yourself, and we want to hear about them. Share your evidence in the comments or tag us on social media. We read everything.
Seriously, we do. Your stories keep us going.
Don't forget to download the transcript and the Progress Perception Tracker worksheet from the description. They'll help you put everything we talked about today into practice.
And if this episode helped you, please share it with someone else who might need this message. We all have friends who are too hard on themselves.
Before we go, I want you to remember one thing. Language learning is not a straight line upward. It's messy and wavy, and sometimes it even goes sideways. But every moment you spend engaging with English, whether you succeed or struggle, is a moment of growth.
You're not behind. You're not stuck. You're not failing.
You're doing better than you think.
You're doing better than you think.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Until next time, be kind to yourself and keep going.
Bye, everyone. And remember, even if your brain forgets the word disappointed, your heart is still allowed to feel like a flat tire. That's valid.
Oh, Tom, never change. Bye, everyone.